Hey folks, how's it going? Just a quick check-in with my vlog for today. How am I doing? Pretty well. I've been up and down, you know, with the depression thing. The meds have maybe kicked in, I'm not sure. I got them increased about a week ago. So I'm up to 30 milligrams of citalopram a week. A day. 30 milligrams a day. I had a day in work yesterday. I had to spend the day at the post office, which, you know, isn't a great place for me to be mentally. But interestingly, because I was so busy catching up with, I think it's probably 10 days since I was last in, so much catch up to do, I found that I just didn't have time to mope around. So mental health wise, it was actually a good day, which is kind of strange because it's the post office that's kind of put me in this position in the first place. Very interesting. Anyway, I worked because my wife has got some real work. She works as a translator and runs an agency, so she had some urgent work that needed to be done yesterday, and so I had to work the post office where she normally helps me with by covering for me so that I can stay home, work on my guitar channel stuff, for which I'm immensely grateful. You've no idea, in fact, how grateful I am. I don't know that she's got an idea of how grateful I am either. Anyway, I'm feeling inspired to make content. It's partly why I'm talking into my good camera now, not my iPhone. I'm trying to up my production game, get my content to be better quality, even my vlog content. I mean, I know I do like to talk into my device when I'm out and about. That's partly where inspiration strikes me, so I will continue to do that. Part of what I don't like about doing that is that I don't have an external mic that plugs into my iPhone. Or rather I do, but it's friction and it's not that well. It's difficult to pin it on my shirt properly because it's not a proper lav mic. It's just one that I've kind of repurposed. And also camera shake, so if I don't take my gimbal with me, which I tend not to because I don't think I'm going to film, and then inspiration strikes and then I end up filming just handheld, not even with a selfie stick. Anyway, I suppose content's key. If I've got something to say, then I've got to get it out and get it said and record it. So that's what I'll continue to do. But for vlogs, I mean, I know I'm not, first of all, I'm not making enough of them. I do like looking back through my old content, and as diary content goes, it's phenomenal because stream of consciousness stuff into camera with video, you know, it's kind of frictionless compared to keeping a written journal, which I also do. I use Day One, which is a tremendous app for iOS and Mac OS. I've been writing journals on and off since 1986, believe it or not, and I had great fun transcribing all of those old, some of them are in actual hardback journals, some of them are in old school jotters that I used to nick from the store cupboard at school. I've got a few of those which are interesting, including some graffiti on the front and stuff about who I loved at the time and what bands I was listening to. Even some graffiti by some friends of mine, which is it's quite fun to look at. I'll maybe pop some in here to the video and you get a wee look at it. It's quite fun. But yeah, keeping a journal, I've started using automation, or rather IFTTT, if this then that, to pipe in TV and movie content that I watch, because I log all that and have been for a few years on Letterboxd and Trakt.tv, TRAKT.tv. Also books that I read, I use Goodreads, and so you can use the RSS feed to pipe movies, books and films into Day One. So I keep a separate journal for books, a separate journal for TV and movies. I mean, it's not great content to look back on for mental health or anything like that, or posterity, but it's interesting just to keep a record of what I've watched and when, maybe who watched it with, whether it was cinema or whether it was movies on TV, that kind of thing, you know. But I have been trying to write a bit more each day, just about what I do through the day and about what's going through my mind, you know, triggers. So if I can just write some short content on my phone, or even just add a photo, which you can do on your phone, and it tags the entry with the time that the photo was taken, and then you can go back and fill in the details before you forget them. So that, keeping a journal like that, I love to do it. And one of the things I do every morning actually is that I bring up the On This Day feature, and I look through the years to see where I was on this day. And since I'm going back to 1986, you know, it can be quite fun sometimes, you know. So yeah, I'm not recording enough vlog content. I'm not engaging enough really on DTube or on the Steam blockchain in general, and I feel bad about that because I love the people on there, especially after having gone to Poland to Steamfest 3 in November. That's where the online friendships became real friendships, and that was so valuable. It was incredible. And yet, I mean, there's kind of a hibernation period that seems to have been going on the Steam blockchain in terms of content, and I don't know if that's because of the time of year. I don't know if that's because of the Steam price. Probably a combination of those things. What I have noticed that a lot of my Steam brethren and sistren, what's the word for sisters? The collective noun? Don't know. My fellow Steam blockchain enthusiasts are getting much more active on YouTube and on Instagram and on, you know, basically on all of the traditional, let's call them, social media platforms. Twitter is another one that's been used a lot, and I think that's a good thing. At first, when I joined Steam just over a year ago, I kind of thought it was going to replace all those other places, but it's not. I think it works as an alternative, but also as another place to earn from your content, I suppose. And if you can keep the Steam blockchain idea centered in your mind and then use the other media platforms as peripheral, I think that's quite a good strategy. And I'm not really doing that very much now. I'm listening a lot to Gary Vaynerchuk, and he doesn't talk about crypto at all, really. He doesn't talk about blockchain, social media platforms. He does talk about traditional social media platforms and about creating content for each of them, and just constantly, consistently pumping out content. And that's something I've been working on with my daughter, trying to come up with a strategy for chopping up content. So Gary talks about having a flagship piece of content. So for me, that's going to be lessons, I suppose, and podcast interviews, and maybe concert footage. So this is my main kind of area of content, how to chop that up and distribute it to the different platforms. So you can have one piece of content that's big, but you can make that into multiple small pieces of content and just fire them out here and there and have them drive the attention to your main flagship content. So that's where I am just now. I was thinking this morning, I walked the dogs this morning, which in itself was a great thing because it got me exercising. I've started doing this just about a week ago, and I'm glad to say that my daughter's joining me on some of these morning dog walks. So we're getting out of the house for just after 7, walking up a really steep hill and talking to each other on the way back down, because we've just woken up on the way up and it's pretty steep. So on the way down we were talking about Patreon. No, I haven't set up a Patreon yet, but I was talking about how it seems to be my lessons on YouTube that have had the most views. Now that isn't really a surprise to me, but these are things I should be paying attention to. I have published concert footage, I've published workshops of professional guitar players talking about their style and teaching a few things. Quite long form content, so we're talking an hour plus in some instances. And I've recorded lessons, and it's my lessons that get the most views, and that tells me this is where I should be directing my attention, to making lessons. So what I thought I'd do is, this is no great new idea, this is something I've seen other content producers do, is that I can create the lessons. Here we go, here's how you play this, watch my fingers. Thanks for watching. If you would like to get the tablature, the sheet music, then go to Patreon, sign up for the whatever, $2 a month Patreon subscription, and you can download tablature, so you can print it off and, you know, fill in your knowledge that way. So that's my strategy for now. I think it's a good strategy. This is all just riffing into the Sony. I better cut it off soon, because what's that, 24 minutes? That's because I recorded a guitar diary before this one, so, but that means that this vlog is already pretty long. So I better wrap it up, because the camera cuts off at 30 minutes. Unlike the A6400. Should I get the 6400 as a backup camera? This one's going away for repair. As soon as my new guitar comes, I've been waiting for Nick Harper gig, because I wanted to use the camera for that. I'm waiting for the guitar to come so I can take some photos and do an unboxing video. It should have come Friday, didn't come. Saturday, didn't come. Monday, and today's Thursday, still hasn't come. I don't have much left before my year's up on the 1 year purchase for the warranty repair, so, you know, and I'm concerned about what I'm going to do while this camera's away for repair, because I don't have a backup and I want to make content. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now.